Good grief, this thing is wobbling again. Good afternoon, my friends. Well, it's still morning. Good morning, my friends. This is Rich again. Thanks for coming to my den where we're going to share another shave. Today's shave is brought to us by CBL's Fusion Dragon's Blood. And as it turns out, I seem to be a CBL, well, I'm a CBL fan anyway, but I'm a particularly a CBL Dragon's Blood fan because I was digging around in my soap locker. It seems I have his original Dragon's Blood, and then I have his Fusion Dragon's Blood, and then now I've got the little Dragon's Blood. It's also Fusion, but the cool thing about this one is it comes in this neat little bowl, which is probably why I grab it so much. Anyway, that's today's soap. We're using Sapin Oficio Veracino's the Shaving Cadre brush with this is an olive wood, and doing the scraping duties today is the Limey Batman. This came to me from my very dear friend Sam in Canada. He sent it to me when he was kind of going minimalist, and I ended up with the Limey Batman. So I have two of this type. It's using a guarded blade, but I can't remember if it's feather or a Kai. I think it's Kai because it's the little, I don't know if you can see it, there you go. The little guard wires are real close together, and on a feather, see if I can find one real quick. On a feather, they're spaced out a little bit more. See if it'll focus. Focus, you son of a gun. See, but you can kind of see that they're a little bit further apart. Other than that, the performance is pretty much the same. And well, they'll sever space and time if you're not careful. But in a good razor, one that controls that edge pretty good, such as the feathers or any other of the good. Most of the time when people design a razor for using these blades, they're quite aware of how wicked these things are, and they seek to keep their clients from injuring themselves. I think I may have actually put a little bit too much water in here, so it's a little bit on the soupy side, which means more product. I'll give it a few more turns here. This is Labor Day weekend. It's the Friday of Labor Day weekend of 2022. We went to the Millersport Sweet Corn Festival. We don't really have our county doesn't have its own county fair per se. We used to have one, but they stopped doing it back in the 30s, I think, because there were other competing fairs, and the state took over a park here in town where we used to hold the fair, because it happened to be, it was already a park, and then the state decided that it was a national or a treasure or something. They're Indian mounds, and they used to put the livestock shows and stuff like that all amongst the Indian mounds, which was pretty cool. But obviously I guess it's better that it's that way. So we really have two county fairs, although they're not called county fairs. One is the Croton Fair, or the Hartford Fair, which is the one where all the 4-H events are and livestock and whatnot. And then the other one is the Sweet Corn Festival, which really kind of marks the end of summer. Always is Labor Day weekend. And boy, this stuff smells nice. Dragon's root is a tree sap. It's not, but it has a citrusy, kind of dark smell to it. Okay, getting back to this. Sweet Corn Festival is mostly a food festival. Of course, being Sweet Fair. And being as Ohio is kind of like on the edge of, or a very agricultural state. They sell a bunch of sweet corn there. They have a building and a almost industrial scale sweet corn cooking. I go through many thousands of ears of corn over this weekend. I know I contributed my share. Went off keto for a couple days. Well, just one day. I had 5 ears of corn and a pork chop. That's like 3 fried chickens and a Coke, pretty much is. This is a pretty fresh blade. I don't know how many shaves are on it. It was in the razor, so I just assumed that it was okay. That's not always the greatest of ideas. Oh, there's a safety cat. Not always the greatest of ideas, but should keep track of how many shaves you put on a razor so that you don't end up with a real dull one and have a not very good experience. So we met another couple that our usual Friday night crew. We have a kind of a standing date with another couple. On Friday nights we go over and eat chicken wings, and they drink beer, and I have water with lemon in it. We've been friends forever. So that's what I do on Friday nights. We moved it to Wednesday because that's when the fair opens. And if you get there early enough, there's like nobody there, which is what we did. It starts at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. They have a parade. And all the booths are open. There's a fried chicken people, and the band parents, they have donut machines, and they crank out donuts by the zillions. He told me once 125,000 dozen is what they make per fair. And it's the only fair fundraiser that they do at all for that band, and it supplies them all year with new uniforms and music and instruments and you name it. I think I'll do a 3 pass. Maybe 3, you think? Yeah. Their donuts are wonderful. They're usually still warm when you get them because they go through them so fast. got some of those too, but only ate one donut. So I didn't count that against myself. Sunday we're going to have a stunt shave courtesy of KJ, who's the king of stunt shaves, on our Sunday night Zoom call. And the problem is finding something that would be challenging or entertaining enough for us to, that he hasn't already done. And the problem is he's the king of stunt shaves. He's done them all. So we're in a conundrum. Conundrum? Is that a good word? Well, we don't really know what to do or what to ask of him. So he's probably going to do something he's dreamed up. Which means woe be unto the person who's directly after him. Because he's going to set the bar pretty high. He's amazing. Let me see, how am I going to do this? I can't really come across my neck like this anymore, now that I have a neck. Without coming perilously close to this motion, which is the one that I think I mentioned in the last shave, that is no bueno to do this, because usually it opens up a fairly not very good wound there. And being as I only shave right-handed, some of the fellas on the shavingcadre.com, which if you're not a member, I'd highly recommend it to you. As far as shaving groups, which is what we started out as, now it's become kind of looks like a club, because we do all kinds of stuff like I was talking about. We do stunt shaves. This being September, it's an odd month. So there's going to be a sumo tournament going on in Japan. There's a group of us that like to watch those. And there's a group of fellows that collect watches. Not unlike this Pagani design Daytona watch. Now I personally like to, I enjoy watches and pens and just all kinds of stuff like that. But I like to start it on a cruise. I kind of collect fake watches. Not just, ones that look, super good and you can look at them. Ones that are just pretty obviously fake. I'm not making any attempts to fool anybody that watches that if I'm getting it as a fake watch. I'm not trying to fool anybody that it's a real watch. I'm going to always keep it and have it known that it is a completely legit watch. This is the last cruise we took with my father. He passed away 17 years ago, I think. Anyway, the last cruise we went with him, we were in St. Thomas, and I bought him a fake Rolex, and I bought one for myself too. That's pretty good for how that turned out. And he wore that thing. I think he was a amateur watchmaker he was a man in search of hobbies, so at some point he liked leathercraft, and he was tooling leather, and he made a saddle, I think, for somebody. There's a purse that he made for my mother. It's around here somewhere. It's just beautiful, the work that he did. But then he got bored with that and decided to do something else. He wanted to learn about refrigeration, so he took a correspondence course on HVAC. Learning how to recharge and service air conditioning, and then he decided he didn't like that. He bored with that. Then he's decided he was going to learn how to fix color televisions, and then he got bored with that. So over all this time he was doing this, I was just soaking up just little bits of his hobbies. And after he passed away, he kept, I think it was just an opportunity for him to buy tools, but I'm not gonna say that's the real reason why he did this, but that was probably in there somewhere. A little Thayer's lemon. It was a cold water rinse, by the way. Kind of closes the pores down a little bit, tightens the skin up. Witch hazel kind of fixes bad parts. Now this is also as Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Sangre de Drago. This is also a dragon's blood. I've got the soap to this somewhere, but I can't find it. I've been looking for it today because, yeah, I found that I've got a huge stash. But this is the only dragon's blood aftershave I have. So I'm going to have to be kind of hunting around a little bit. It goes real well. It's not exactly the same as Chris Lindsay's or CBL, the soap. It's dragon's blood, but it goes well with it because, you know, of course, the major component is dragon's blood or dragon's blood extract. I don't know what. I can't read it because it's dark. It's on a clear label with tiny black lettering, and because it's also dark, it's not next to impossible to read. So I'll check that out at some point. But the only gripe I would have about it is it's ever so slightly sticky when you first put it on. Danger's past. Safety cat's leaving her station. So you should, I powder after using this one. That happens to me a lot with these, with this particular manufacturer's aftershaves. Right after you put it on, it's just a little bit sticky. I have to powder, or I'll be walking around making myself miserable. So there. Today's soap was brought to us by CBL's Premium Tallow Shaving Soap, Dragon's Blood Fusion. We use the Saponaficio Veracino official shaving cadre brush in, I don't know what, it's Badger. It's a nice one, very soft. It's one of my nicer brushes. Cutting chores were done by the Limey Batman, or Feather SS, with a Kai Captain, or what, guarded blade, whatever it is they make. And we covered things up, or finished up, with Phoenix Shaving Accoutrements Sangre de Drago. That's all we have for today. I'm Major Rich. You'll find me at theshavingcadre.com. I highly recommend that as a group. If you're finding me on Facebook, I hope that you do wander over there and have a look. There's a little bit of something for everybody. Please like and subscribe. It helps me a lot. And that's pretty much it for today. We will see you. Have a wonderful and safe Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.